delete. Boy, this new method of sorting my Gmail is so much easier. Anyway, it's time for Spot Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Day 3, Episode 4-3. Let's go through another, 20 songs. Work for you, work for me, works for everybody. Here's Fivio Foreign and Meek Mill, starting in my behind-the-back Sonys with Demons and Goblins. Ooh. Got my RPG dice over there. Let me know if I have to saving throw against this song. I haven't played them in a long time, because I didn't have a system that could play them for a while, and also I kind of lost interest, but this song sounds like it'd be one of those songs in a John Madden football game from EA Sports, but not one of the ones you're excited when it comes on again. It's one of those ones you come on again and you swear it's been on like every other time you've started the game up for some reason. So ordinary. Up next, K-Camp with Jacques. It's What's on Your Mind. A little smooth R&B on a Sunday. That works. This isn't bad. Kind of slow, but for R&B isn't really what you consider an up-tempo genre for the most part. So this works. Put this on your baby-making playlist. Up next is Young Dolph with Sunshine. I've heard some Young Dolph I've liked. I've heard some Young Dolph I haven't liked. This it's got a leg in both, but more of a leg. The longer leg is in the mediocre section. Up next is Callie Uchis. I should know that because I really like her as an artist. It's from her new EP called To Feel Alive. It's called I Want War, But I Need Peace. I've heard so many good things about her, and I listened to her debut album, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you guys are right. And yeah, this is a good song. Kind of in that slow R&B groove again, but you know what? It seems like the middle section of this playlist always kind of hits a lot of that. Although I see some stuff on the horizon that is not. But yeah, I like it. I'm curious to hear this EP. I have to pick that one up. Up next is Huron John and Motocross, which is exactly the title of a song I'd expect from a guy named after Huron, South Dakota. It's from his album Apocalypse Wow. Here's a fun fact. Huron John is from Chicago. He's not even from Huron. Mediocre. Up next, Charlie Burg and Channel Orange in Your Living Room. Wait, is this another song about Frank Ocean? Are we doing 2 songs 2 weeks in a row about Frank Ocean? Because Frank Ocean had an album called Channel Orange. It is! It's another song about Frank Ocean. What? How much you got? Why? Why are we doing all these songs about Frank Ocean? I'm confused. I'm just going to put it in ordinary mediocre because can I actually say I'm sick of songs about Frank Ocean? We've had as many songs about Frank Ocean on the show as we've had by Frank Ocean. Anyway, up next, a young band out of the UK. I think they're really going places. They're called the Rolling Stones. I think I'm saying that right. It's called Living in a Ghost Town. Hard to believe these guys are all in their 70s. I tell you what, they still get it done. They don't sound their age. I'll give them that. This is like Voodoo Lounge quality Rolling Stones, so yeah. That's good. I'm very hit and miss with the Rolling Stones, to be honest, but I don't discount their place in the rock pantheon. It's just they're one of those groups I've heard so much in my life. I'm just kind of over it. But this is an interesting new song, and they wrote it about the current situation. They even used lockdown in one of the verses. So yeah, this is good. This is as good as any later day Rolling Stones song from the 90s on is gonna get. So goes in the OK file. Up next, The Killers with Fire in Bone. Uh-oh. Brandon Flowers is feeling funky again, everybody. We got a bit of a groove here, like The Man. Remember that song by The Killers? It's got more in common with that than it's got in common with, like, Mr. Brightside or Somebody Told Me. Killers getting groovy again, but I'm okay with it. Get on with your bad self, Brandon. We're going to call this good. Up next, Goody Grace, If I Want To. Uh-oh. It's kind of not a cover, but was it interloping? It's My Party and I'll Get High If I Want To is basically a chorus here. So, I file it under okay, I guess. It's gonna have an alty rock song, alty rock pop song. But some bad words, be warned. Up next, Little Spirit and Nobody Else. The song is 1:52, which is the perfect length for a very ordinary song. I have nothing else to add. Up next, Earl Sweatshirt and Maxo with Whole World. Can we all just agree that it's a weird rapper name, Earl Sweatshirt? Like, it's just one of the strangest hip-hop names I think I've ever heard. Earl Sweatshirt. Anyway, the song is, I've heard many, many critical praises of Earl Sweatshirt, but never really clicked with me. This continues that. Up next, Stunna for Vegas with Freestyle. It's a rap song. It's called Freestyle. I'm trying to think of things to say about this song, because it's kind of mediocre, but you can tell they tried really hard. So if you're looking for a mediocre rap but sounds like they tried really hard, it's a new Stunna for Vegas. Woodkid up next with Goliath. This week, playing the role of Depeche Mode will be Woodkid. Sorry, the used, you've been replaced already. It's a slightly more faithful adaptation of Depeche Mode than we had from the used last week, so I'll give it that. Put it in the OK file. Up next, Chloe Moriondo with Bugbear, but not a Bug-a-Bear. I found a playlist on Spotify the other day called Badass Women, and I think Chloe Moriondo could definitely fit in on that playlist. I like this. This is good. Yeah, I have this in the OK section, but I'm going to take it out and put it in the good section. So yeah. Guitar solo hitting that changed my mind. Up next is Lolo Zouaï, and it's my fault. We got some OK R&B here. It's smooth. It has an unpronounceable last name. It's My Fault by Lolo Zouaï. Zouaï? It's got the 2 dots above the I. It's the problem with doing this show cold is I run into things like this and I'm just like, argh. Up next, Bright Eyes and Forced Convalescence. What is it about Conor Oberst has recorded music as just Conor Oberst? Conor Oberst has recorded music as Bright Eyes, which is also just Conor Oberst. And yet I can always tell when he's doing Conor Oberst when he's doing Bright Eyes. Anyway, this is really good if you like Bright Eyes. So, if you don't like Bright Eyes, this might not be your cup of tea. But if you like Bright Eyes like I do, oh yeah, I'll take another cup of tea, please. Up next is Tom Misch with Yusuf Days and Last 100. This song sounds like a forgotten track from the yacht rock era. Like, it wasn't very popular because it was just a little too weird for yacht rock, but it still wanted to be yacht rock. It's just, if yacht rock was a group of kids, this was the weird kid that the other kids didn't necessarily want to play with. But sometimes they would let him, but not very often. That's what this song kind of sounds like. Up next is Octavian with Take a Day Trip and More, and Poison. A remake of the Alice Cooper track, maybe? It's even a remake of the Belle Biv DeVoe track. It's pretty ordinary. I mean, it's got guests, I'll give it that. I mean, once again, they spared no expense in their very ordinary sounding song. But yeah, I just don't hear this one breaking through. Up next is Mulatto. That's what they're called. Feel weird saying that, and no hook. If Eve was 19 right now and got her start on SoundCloud, it would sound like this. I like it. I like it a lot. And no hook. It's not anything like Murphy Lee's What the Hook Gonna Be. Because he don't need a hook on this beat. She does not need a hook on this beat either. I'm very angry. But I like it. I like it a lot. Up finally, for today anyway, it's Eat It Up by Flo Milli. There's some funny wordplay on this song. I like it a lot. Flo Milli. This goes in the OK file. Not quite as good as Mulatto just before that with no hook, but this is good. This is a nice way to finish the day. And that's your Spot Friday, Saturday, Sunday episode. Or your Spot Quarantines Day episode, part 3. Part 4 tomorrow. You want a sneak preview? I don't know. See some Little Pump, some JoJo, some AWOL Nation. And that's just 3. There'll be more.